Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day today. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 mistakes I've made as a software engineer that halted me from getting promotions, that really set me back when it came to learning new terminology and how to adapt to writing code, and just some of the things that you need to know as an engineer. It's not all about just writing code at the end of the day. It's about really understanding the fundamentals and how that's going to take you far to build and iterate over time. Now, if you're not able to do all that stuff, you're going to get stuck. And if you're not willing to learn new things, you're definitely going to run into a lot of problems in the future that's going to halt you from achieving your goals. So if you want to become a senior engineer, there's so many different things that you need to do to get there. It's not just, like I said, about the code. It's a lot to deal with how you communicate with other people, how do you retain information, how do you adapt and research different technologies that solves a problem. And if you're able to convey that to other people and show them, hey, this is how I would adapt, rewriting our code to look like this, so that not only is it easier to read, but it's also easier to maintain for the future. Those are brownie points that will get you promoted a lot faster. Number one is that being perfect all the time, writing perfect, clean code all the time, thinking that, you know, people are going to look at your code and be like, hey, like this is actually cool. Yes, that happens. Like other engineers will review your code, they'll look at it and they'll give you their feedback. If it's not perfect, obviously they'll write comments and you have to refactor it, make sure everything is all good, and you should be good to go. But if you spend so much time just trying to be perfect, every single detail needs to be perfect, every single edge case needs to be perfect, you're just going to prolong the project that you're working on. You're probably going to introduce more bugs into the project itself because you fixed one area, but now you're introducing other areas that is using that piece of the code with more problems. So that is why you need to understand the code base a little bit differently and understand it from a functionality standpoint, and just understand that these things can happen. And if it's worth refactoring, by all means, have someone give you buy-in. If you're working with a senior engineer or tech lead, just get buy-in on that. But other than that, you shouldn't be wasting your time just trying to be perfect. Every single line of code needs to be perfect. I wrote garbage code in the past, but it functioned. That's the most important thing. So I knew what I was writing was not good quality, but at the end of the day, if I'm building out a project and a feature that needs to get out the door in like a month or two from when it was assigned to me, I need to pivot and actually write code that works. Functionality over form is key. If you just focus on just the perfection of every single detail, man, things are not going to get done. People are not going to be happy, and you're just going to over-engineer a feature that shouldn't be over-engineered. It should be simple, right? But this comes with repetition and the amount of projects that you work on. So I'm not saying that if you're an entry-level or junior-level developer that you need to know this right away. Just understand that the code doesn't need to be perfect. And I know there's this, talk about tech debt and accumulating tech debt and all that stuff. If it's something that you could live with, it should be fine, or at least document it somewhere so that when it comes to like a time where there's downtime, you can actually focus on cleaning up that tech debt to bring that percentage way down. So for me, I always wanted to be perfect. Always wanted everything to be like great in the presentation and also the code itself. And then I noticed that just doing everything pixel perfect actually cause more issues down the road. So functionality over form. Don't worry about everything being perfect. Just focus on getting the job done. Number two is that you believe that, and I used to believe this, is that the code itself will get me promoted. The code will get me promoted. Everything that I wrote, all the projects that I wrote, regardless of whether it was perfect or not, will get me promoted. Yes, there's some truth to that, but also you have to focus on those soft skills. I already could talk to people, if it wasn't tech related, but then I got better at talking technically. I got better at talking with an engineer on a particular problem and understanding it from not only a technical standpoint, but also at like the requirement level. Being able to take requirements that are given to me and write and figure out how to create functionality. That was very important. Being able to not only document what you built, is going to help other engineers and people that are non-technical understand exactly what you worked on. And being able to explain the functionality, so that's why doing demos is very important, will also help with that. Not just at the code level, having like a code snippet and like this part of the code runs this. Like, no, obviously an engineer is not going to really care about that. We just want to know how everything functions. So if you do it that simple to where you are able to explain that in simple detail, you're going to get promoted. Trust me. You're going to start moving up. You're going to be able to help others understand exactly what's going on. Because I'm telling you, I've worked with product managers that they understood the requirements, they got all the requirements, but technically they didn't understand how everything was being wired together. Work on not just writing good code all the time. Yes, it's good practice, but that's not gonna necessarily land you the dream job that you want or the promotion, okay? I had to learn that the hard way. Communication for me, I started working on that. I started talking to people, just being myself and all that stuff. And it really helped me grasp what is the importance here. You know, being personable is very important. Number 3 is I avoided leadership and mentorship roles because I felt I had imposter syndrome. I felt like I was not ready for that responsibility. And me being in the field for over a decade, okay? Over a decade, you would think after like the 5-year mark, I would have been ready for that role. But honestly, I didn't start getting into that role until year 8, okay? I started learning and growing and understanding the importance of taking leadership, taking leadership on projects, saying that, hey, I have the solution to this problem. I'm gonna document what we need to do here. And I just want you guys to understand exactly what the plan is. And then if it doesn't make any sense, we can make adjustments to that plan. But this is exactly what we're gonna do. Create the blueprint of where you need to be able to explain that blueprint, get that feedback, iterate over that feedback, make sure that the plan is solid from all parties, and then execute. Very important. If you're not able to do that, then leadership roles will not be in your card. If you're trying to be a manager and you think that you don't have to lead people in a certain way, you don't have to lead projects, you're never gonna get promoted, you're never gonna move up, learn anything. There's gonna be a lot of flaws in what you know. And when it comes to the job market now, you gotta learn everything, okay? You gotta learn just everything that is like, not even coding itself, but communication, soft skills. How do you go about solving a problem? Being able to explain that. If you're not able to do any of that, there's no way you could become a leader in the space. When you're too comfortable, nothing's gonna get done. When you're too comfortable, you're gonna be doing the same thing over and over again. There's not gonna be any progress. You're not gonna get 1% better than what you were year after year. So working on hard projects, leading those projects, being able to tech plan the requirements, figure things out, ask questions whenever you need to ask them, talk about edge cases, think about things outside of the box. You got it. You got it. But because you're not doing that, you're going to be at a loss. That's what I used to do. I used to just work on the same things over and over again. And I got so annoyed about doing that. I got so annoyed because I noticed that it wasn't a challenge. After doing it for a couple years of just working on websites, working on just bugs, I was like, listen, I need to step up and do something else. So then I became a software engineer. And then from there, I was definitely challenged because they just gave me the blueprint of what they needed. And it was like, hey, figure it out. And I had to figure it out. This is before AI and all that stuff. So like Google was my friend, searching on different search engines to get the answer that I wanted. It was a nightmare. Trust me, it was a nightmare, but it built my character. It built my resilience to solving problems and being calm and cool, collected when it came to leading a project, working on a project, fixing a bug, dealing with fire drills, all that stuff. If you learn from those failures and apply that to the next thing that you're working on, that's what life is all about at the end of the day. And that's how you're gonna grow in your career, all right? And the last thing I wanna talk to you guys about, this is very important. What a lot of people do today is they like to multitask and they think that they're getting a lot of stuff done by doing this, but actually this is the wrong approach. Multitasking actually hinders your progress. And I'm gonna explain why. So like when you're multitasking, think about it. You have one project that you're working on, you deal with that. When it gets too hard, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna work on this other project, right? So you start focusing on that project. And then it's easy, it gets too hard, and then you stop focusing on that, then you go back to the other project. And then you start context switching back and forth to where you don't even know where you're at in each individual project, and now you're stuck. This is a problem. If you put 100% of your energy, so like right now you're doing 50% of your energy, your total energy expenditure for one project to the other. And there's no bridge between that. So my advice to you is to work on one thing. Work on one particular project at a time. Put 100% of your energy into this project. Doesn't matter how hard it is. Research what you need to get done. Talk to someone on your team to help you solve that problem. And then just test and refactor. And once you're comfortable with project one, then move on to project two and apply the same things that you learned from project one over to project two, so on and so forth. By you doing this, I guarantee you, you're gonna get 1% better every single day. Your productivity is gonna jump through the roof. Your attention to detail is gonna jump through the roof. You're gonna put 100% of your focus on that one particular thing, and you're gonna notice how fast that project is gonna get done. I started adapting that later in my career, and it's been a game changer. And one of the books that you should start reading, and I'm gonna put a link in the description so you guys can pick it up on Amazon, is called The One Thing. That book will help you with understanding why focusing on one thing at a time is actually going to help you progress into finishing a project that took you a long time to do before. And then also, if there's like a goal that you're trying to reach, how to break that goal into smaller pieces so that you're able to maintain making progress every single day. Because the harder the project, obviously you look at it from the bigger picture, it's like, okay, well, this project is very complex. You don't know where to start, but if you break that down into different areas to where now I could just work on this because it's easier to do, and then gain that momentum as you climb up the ladder to that end goal, it's gonna make things a lot easier. You're gonna notice that you're gonna understand a lot of things quicker. You're gonna be more resilient in terms of getting things done, and you're gonna be accountable for yourself. So focusing on one thing and not multitasking is gonna help you tremendously. That's it, guys. Those are the career mistakes that I made. I made those career mistakes that prolonged my journey to getting these roles and being able to get the information that I needed to do well in the space. And if I would have known that and actually focused on the bigger picture, I would have been there instead of me being in the field for 12 years and just now getting started, actually do it in maybe 5 or 6, give or take. It would have cut down a lot of that time significantly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes. Go through these lessons. If you have any questions, you could reach out to me personally at my email address. If you want to schedule some time with me, click the link in the description. We can have a one-on-one. You could talk to me about anything that's tech related, what path you're going through, what you need to do, and all that stuff. And I could be your accountability partner going forward, okay? Because at the end of the day, I just want you guys to succeed. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if these 5 mistakes actually helped you become accountable for what you need to do in your own career, and we'll talk soon.